So there's a reason why we sleep 1/3 of our lives. We're sleeping because of the benefits of sleep. And in the last 20 years, the science has really taken off around sleep. So we are learning more and more. And when we're looking at the 3 pillars of health, we say all the information is telling 3 pillars of health: exercise, nutrition, and sleep. But actually, if we don't sleep well, we don't exercise well, we are more prone to injuries. That, again, is very research-based. If we don't eat well, our body doesn't absorb the nutrients, but more importantly, if we don't sleep well, the body does not absorb these nutrients from the food that we eat. So it is described as the 3 pillars of health, but without sleep, the fundamental aspects of our being are not allowing us to move forward and be our best self. How sleep is important in terms of motherhood. We enter motherhood, which is a huge transition for all of us. No matter whether we fall into it very naturally or we don't, because not every mother does, but sleep is so important as a coping mechanism. There's a reason why we put the mask on first. A very good reason, because we need to look after ourselves, and when we look after ourselves and sleep well, then our babies can sleep well too. When we're looking at the benefits of sleep and being a mother, it enables us to function on all aspects. We know that when we sleep poorly, our mental health is impacted. Now, if we're thinking about this transition from motherhood, there is so much going on from a psychological perspective, as well as a practical perspective. So if we're going to get good sleep, then we're going to function so much better. We know, looking at our children, for example, they are at such a rapid period of growth in that first year. The science is showing us that in that first year, there is such a huge amount of brain development. When a baby is first born, their brain weighs approximately 400 grams. And by the age of 1, the brain weighs approximately 1 kilo. And what that means is there is so much change neurologically. The one aspect that is going to support that neurological development is sleep. So sleep is such a valuable commodity experience for all of us. And if we can support our parents, if we can build this community where knowledge and education is available around sleep, then nurture to sleep is very much part of wanting to be within that community. So just to reflect on why sleep is important, particularly for our mothers, it's to help support them to be in a better place for their mental health, for their decision-making process. We know that when we sleep poorly, our decision-making process, our impulse reaction, all of these things are impacted on a really negative perspective. So particularly here in Dubai, we need to be able to drive safely. If we haven't slept well, we cannot drive safely, and then not only are we putting ourselves at risk, but we're also putting our children at risk. So it's about having a consciousness. The other thing here is that we need to be the best role models for our children, because when we make sleep a priority, then our children are going to recognize the benefits of sleep. We are then setting our children off on a trajectory of the best sleep for them in adulthood. You know, how we grew up, how I grew up, and my 3 daughters, for example, screen time was not as much of an issue as it is now. When we enable our children to sleep better, they are going to be able to make the decisions to turn off that screen. This is so much about positive discipline, and all the other aspects are related around sleep. We have to understand that sleep is not a luxury, it's a biological necessity. And we know without sleep, our immune system is going to be compromised. We also know, again, the science shows us that if we have 5 hours or less on that night, our immune system, our cancer fighting cells, is going to be compromised by up to 70%. So we know our immune system is going to be compromised. Our decision-making process also, as we said previously, is going to be compromised. So we need to ensure that we all have an understanding of the value and the benefits of sleep, and we don't underestimate it.